I like the honesty of Kangata saying that I'm not going to be in UDA. But as to saying he does not know which party, that's a lie. He's going to be on DCP.
Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata stood before cameras last weekend and delivered what he called a carefully honest political statement. He said he would not defend his seat on UDA ticket come 2027. Moses Kuria watched that statement and called out the part he say is not true. Speaking on TV47 on May 3rd, the Chama cha Kazi leader said Kangata's honest ends precisely where he claims ignorance about his next party. According to Moses Kuria, the destination is already known, already written, already decided, and Kangata knows it exactly. This is the story of what is really happening in Mount Kenya's political realignment and why most of its most outspoken figures says the public deserves a more honest conversation. Moses Kuria's remarks on TV47 were precise and worth and backing carefully because it did not dismiss Kangata entirely. It separated what he considered honest from what he considers dishonest. On the honest side, Kuria credited Kangata for publicly stating he would remain in UDA until 2027. He argues that this is the kind of transparency is rare in Kenyan politics, where many politicians are already planning the exit, while maintaining the pretense of loyalty. Saying openly that you will leave is, in Kuria's view, a form of political integrity that more leaders should practice. On the claim that Kangata does not yet know which party he will join, Kuria was direct. He says that it is not true. He pointed to something specific and verifiable. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has gone on public record stating that if Kangata does not move to DCP, a former senior government official, former water PS Wairagu, would be given the DCP ticket in Murang'a County instead. In other words, Kuria is saying Kangata has already been approached, has already been given an ultimatum, and has already made his decision. The only thing missing is the public announcement, according to Kuria. The detail Kuria introduced into this conversation is significant because it reframes Kangata's exit from a voluntary, principled department into something more complicated, a political engineered move driven by an external threat. According to Kuria's account, Gachagua's message to Kangata was essentially this: join DCP or face a well-resourced DCP candidate in your own backyard in 2027. Former PS Wairagu was named as the alternative, a credible challenger who would be positioned to split or absorb the anti-Ruto votes in Murang'a if Kangata declined to come on board. That is not an invitation. That is a leverage. And Kuria's assessment is that Kangata has already responded to that leverage by deciding to leave UDA. He simply has not yet admitted publicly where he is going. If Kuria is right, what are we watching is not a governor bravely stepping away from a party he has outgrown. It is a recruitment executed under political pressure, being presented to the public as a matter of independent conscience. Beyond calling out Kangata specifically, Kuria used the interview to articulate something he clearly feels strongly about: a broader objection to how political party loyalty work in Kenya. He made it personal. He pointed to his own 2022 experience when he chose to run for the Kiambu governorship on his own Chama cha Kazi ticket rather than take the UDA ticket that would have almost certainly delivered him the seat right there. He knew the consequences. He ran anyway and he lost, but on his own terms, on a platform he actually believed in. His argument is physiological as much as it is a political. He said he is personally opposed to a politician moving to a party simply to win a seat, not because of shared ideology, not because of shared vision, not because of a genuine alignment with that party agenda, but purely as a vehicle for electoral survival. This is a pointed critique of exactly what it says Kangata is doing, and it is also implicitly a critique of the DCP model itself, a party that Kuria suggests is expanding not through ideological conversation but through a combination of inducement and threats. Coming from Moses Kuria, who has been one of the most vocal critics of Gachagua's political method in Mount Kenya, this is consistent, but it carries extra weight when attached to specific named examples. Kuria's account, if accurate, tells us something important about how Rigathi Gachagua is building his Democratic Party or Democracy for Citizens Party ahead of 2027. DCP is not simply waiting for disillusioned politicians to find their way to the party organically. It is actively recruiting, and it is using a carrot and stick approach to do so. The carrot is a party ticket and the political backing of Gachagua's growing movement in Mount Kenya. The stick is the threat of a sponsored rival candidate if the target decline. This is a sophisticated political machinery building. It is also the kind of a pressure politics that Kuria openly says he finds troubling, not because it is illegal, but because it produces politicians whose loyalty is transactional rather than ideological. A governor who joins DCP because he fears Gachagua's back challenger in his county is not a convert. It is a calculation. A calculation in Kenyan politics have a way of reversing themselves when the political winds shift.